So the question remains, is Asus ROG Li worth it? Should you spend $700? And for whom is this device? Keep in mind, everyone will have different opinions, everyone will have different needs, and everyone will be subjective on their opinions when it comes to this device. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to give you my honest opinion whether or not this handheld device is worth your $700. $700, it's a lot of money. It's not a small, chunk of change. To some people, $700 is a big deal. And whether or not it's worth their investment, that's what I'm going to talk about here on this video. Make no mistake, ROG Li, Republic of Gamers Li handheld device, it's a beautiful device. It has a beautiful 8-inch screen that supports 100% DCI-P3 color measurement. It has a full HD with 120 Hertz refresh rate, and it's great. The screen is beautiful. It's definitely a better screen than what we have on Steam Deck. The controllers are nicely laid out here, lit up nicely with the RGB LED color. The layout of the buttons, it's similar to the Xbox controller. You get your triggers right here on the top left and right. You also got the an additional buttons right here in the back. You guys can go watch my unboxing if you want to see in-depth full video on that, me showing you what this device has inside. Personally, here's what I'm gonna say. Personally, I'm liking this device. I like it. I love the fact that it's a small, light, weight, and very portable. The only problem and issue, negative, that will maybe inject here is the battery life. Battery life on this thing, it's not as great, and that's, I believe, is going to be one of the issues that people are going to come across, is the battery life. You're looking maybe roughly hour and a half, depending on what type of game you're playing. If you're playing Diablo, or if you're playing Call of Duty, you're looking like maybe hour and a half battery life, and that's it, you're done. And you have to wait a while till it recharges. So that's the one negative right out the door. But I think that's the case with majority of handheld devices. But what I do like about this device is the fact that they made it so easy for you to control your Asus ROG Li from this button right here that you press, called the command center. This button right here will take you to the command center. In the command center, you can choose between silent mode, performance mode, and turbo mode. And this is something that's very useful for you if you want to conserve a little bit more of your battery. Now, if you're not playing any highly demanding games, maybe you can do 2 hours, maybe 2 hours, 10 minutes. It really depends on how you're conserving the brightness and everything else. So the mileage will vary. Another cool feature is the desktop mode, where you can use the mouse when you switch to desktop mode, or you can switch to a automatic mode, so that way when you are in a game, automatically it's going to switch to a gamepad, and when you are in a desktop, it's going to automatically switch to a mouse. The way you control the mouse, it's with your right thumbstick, and it's really smooth. No latency, smooth as a butter. I never thought I'd say this, but it's really good. And you can also use a touch screen. You can use your fingers to zoom in, zoom out, and click, so you don't have to necessarily use a thumbstick. You can use your hands as well. You can browse on this thing. You can go hit the browser, hit the Microsoft Edge. There it is right there. click on it, and you can scroll through it. You can click on some websites here. There's some games over here that we can look at. You can go to the Xbox Wire, read about the Xbox Wire. You can zoom in, zoom out. I find myself using a touchscreen more when it comes to browsing than using a mouse. To be honest with you, I found myself using a touchscreen, and I think majority of you are going to be using a touchscreen. All right, so I don't think you guys going to be using the thumbstick. But hey, the ability to use the thumbstick as a mouse is there, and I like options. I like variety of options, and you sure as hell you're going to get that here. All right, so the command center here gives you other options where you can enable a monitoring to see what your status is. Right here, you can look at your status, performance, your wattage, your battery life, CPU, GPU, clock speed, stuff like that. It's all there. You can turn that off at any time you want. So command center is a pretty cool feature for you to access and control your Asus ROG Li. I wish that they did this with the gaming laptops. Yes, but with the gaming laptop you have to go to Armoury Crate. But I wish that there was a button where you can press and stuff like this shows up too. So that's on your left side. On the right side, you have Armoury Crate, and Armoury Crate is something that it's on the laptop, and that's what I was saying. I wish that they had a command center on the PC, on the laptop, which I'm surprised that they haven't. Asus, why haven't you done that on the laptop? I don't get it. So anyway, so here's the Armoury Crate. This is the way for you to access your games. All your applications, all your games can be accessed through your Armoury Crate, and this is cool. So this is such a ease of access for you to access all of your games super fast, easily, no issues, no problems. And that's what I like about it. You can also go to your settings. You can go to your content. You can go to your system to look at your system. The system will tell you what you have. I have a Ryzen Z1 Extreme. Okay, it tells you that it's a 1080p 120 hertz touchscreen. Has a 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 memory RAM. So it's a pretty powerful handheld device. I mean, make no mistakes. This is a very powerful handheld device. Okay, because we have never seen something like this with this kind of power. Just to be able to play Call of Duty and 120 hertz, 70 to 80 frames per second. In some cases, 120. Actually, yesterday I was able to hit 120 frames per second on Call of Duty. 120 frames per second with 120 hertz. Again, let me repeat that one more time. 120 frames per second with 120 hertz at a full HD. So that right there, it's like, hey, But remember, if you're not plugged in to the adapter, if you're using the battery, your battery life will be drained out. This is going to be an issue for some people. The battery life, it's always going to be an issue. So that right there, you have to think about whether or not it's worth $700. But same thing goes for the laptop. Laptop batteries, this is an issue that's an ongoing issue with the battery. The battery life needs to improve in the future in order for us to be able to enjoy playing these devices for a long period of time. So that's your armory crate. So we can go ahead and we can start Call of Duty Modern Warfare really quick. And I'm going to talk about the Call of Duty a little bit as I'm playing it. So there's Call of Duty. We can jump in right now and start playing. We can do Showdown 24/7 right here. I'm going to turn down the volume just a little bit, so that way you guys can hear me. This screen is beautiful, as I mentioned earlier, and it's something you have to see in person. I would suggest go to your nearest Best Buy to see this in person. Same thing with the Asus gaming laptops, Asus Strix laptops. They have those nebula screens, and it's 100% DCI-P3 color measurement. That's very important. When you have that 100% DCI-P3 color measurement, you're going to have a beautiful screen with the beautiful colors popping out, and the contrast ratio is going to be even better because of so many local dimming zones that they have on this device. So when it comes to a screen, Asus ROG, it's no stranger to it. They make pretty darn good screens. So there it is right here. Here I am playing a Call of Duty, running at let's use the real-time monitor. 65 frames per second right now, 83 frames, 84 frames, 84 frames per second right now, 85 frames, as you can see, is just remarkable. Headshot right there. The reason I turned down the volume, because I don't want you guys to listen to people commentating using profanity and all that stuff, because we are in a multiplayer. Perfect. You see, I'm already getting better and better because of this is crazy. I mean, think about this. Maybe for some people, the ability to do 100 frames, 94 frames per second on a Call of Duty on a handheld device, full HD, 120 hertz, just that alone, it's worth the admission of $700 to some people. No, I mean, really, even Dr. Disrespect should look into this device. I mean, think about it. You can play Call of Duty at like 90 frames per second with 120 hertz refresh rate. That is pretty remarkable, man, that you can do that. I never dreamed about the day that we would have a day where you'll be able to do this, to play Call of Duty on such a small factor like this, handheld device. So that's pretty remarkable there. We're going to play a little bit more here, and then we're going to switch off to something else really quick. I think this will be the main attraction. The main attraction is going to be games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, World War III, stuff like that. That's what people want to play on these handheld devices. And the fact that you're not limited, even if you're a Microsoft Flight Simulator fan, which I haven't tested, the fact that you can play Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's another bonus that you can do that. Your entire library of Steam games, Epic, EA Play Pro, Ubisoft, etc., emulators. I mean, God, there's so many things. You can watch movies on this, which I haven't tested yet. We're going to talk about the price. We're going to talk about whether or not this is worth it shortly, because I know that's what you guys want to know. That's the question that I'm asking myself, and that's the answer that you guys want to know, whether or not this is worth $700. And I'm going to try to do my best to answer that for you. Remember, I'm not sponsored by Asus. I'm not, here being their shill. Okay, I'm just going to give you my honest opinion based on my experience. Okay, and that's what I'm going to try to do here. All right, so I'm going to end this, and then I'm going to talk about whether or not it's worth it, your hard-earned cash. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, or a King Kong and the Godzilla in the room. Is it worth it? $700. I know there's two editions. One is the Z1 Extreme, and the other one is just the Z1. Currently, right now, only Z1 Extreme it's available, and let's be honest, that's the most powerful one for a handheld at the moment, as of this recording. June 16th, 2023, the year of our Lord. Is it worth $700? Now, the way I'm going to answer this, it's going to be like this. It depends on whom you ask. Okay? Now, if you have money is not an issue, and you're doing okay financially, and you can afford it, for you, you'll probably say, yeah, okay, $700, I can afford it. But if you're somebody who's struggling out there, who doesn't, have that kind of a financial means to do it, because, $700 to you, it's like, hey, pay the rent or put the food on the table, etc., etc. For you, probably is going to be no. There's other alternatives. There's even a PlayStation 4 Pro, renting the GameFly would be probably more feasible option for you to get into gaming. There's other alternatives. Now, if you're somebody who already has a gaming PC or a gaming laptop that's semi decently powerful, right? And it only weighs about 5 pounds, and you can carry that laptop with you anywhere you go, and it's lightweight, then for you, probably the answer is going to be no. But then again, the mileage will vary. All right, we all are different. We all live different lives, financial situations. We all have different lives that will dictate based on our situation financially and other things. So let's put that aside. Let's talk about it in terms of technology that's built inside this handheld device. Okay, now we already talked about financial situations and people who are struggling, etc., or people who have money and don't have money and have gaming laptops, etc., etc. Now, put that aside. If you look at it from a technological aspect, and you look at the tech that's built inside this handheld device and variety of different options that you can do, buying a docking station, plug it into your TV, buy an external proprietary 4080, 4090 GPU, plug it into your 4K monitor, 8K monitor, etc., right? Or your OLED television. Looking at all the technology, 120 hertz, DCI-P3, 100% color measurement, full HD, 120 hertz, 120 frames per second, Call of Duty, all of these other games, 60, 70, 80% increase in performance. If you look at it from a tech point of view, technological point of view, $700, it's justified. You got Z1 Extreme chip in here with 8 cores. I forgot how many threads, but 8 cores is more than enough. You've got 16 gigabytes of DDR5. I'm sorry, 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM. You got solid state drive, NVMe built into it. You got an expansion for the slot for the SD memory card, and also an expansion where you can change your SSD and NVMe solid state drive. You can put a 2 terabyte in this if you want. So looking at it from a tech point of view, or what this device has. So when you look at this, AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme, you get a Full HD 1080p 120 Hz touchscreen. You get 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, 6400 megahertz. When you look at this device and what it has, clearly, so when you look at all of these system specs that this device has, upgrades and portability, it justifies, from a tech point of view, this device justifies $700. Okay, so think about like the gaming laptops and what you get for a $1,500 gaming laptop, right? If you want a really good gaming laptop, you're looking at $2,000, like the one I have, and this thing, it's only $700. So you think about that. So I'm not here to tell you go buy it, don't buy it. I'm just here telling to you the tech that's built inside this device, it justifies $700. The ability for you to use it as a full Windows operating system where you can play all of your games, no limitations. That right there, it's like mind-blowing. The fact that you can, install any software like you would on the Windows PC laptop, that's mind-blowing. Just the fact alone that you can play every game on a PC, no limitation. So all of those elements, in my opinion, justifies $700. Now, whether or not is it worth it to you, can you financially afford it? That's something you're gonna have to figure out on your own. I'm not here to tell you buy it, don't buy it. I'm just simply saying the price is justified. And I think I'm gonna end it on that note. The price is justified. And that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you guys for watching. I still got a bunch of tests on this device. I'm not even scratching the surface. So keep in mind, there's more videos coming.